This is my video how I started smoking weed and how it became more of an addiction rather than just an occasional thing. Because at the start, that's what it was. I think for most people, that's what it starts as. It was about end of grade 7. I'd been offered by a friend and the older brother to go down and have a smoke at the sesh spot. The first time, honestly, I didn't even think I was high. I didn't know what the feeling was. Honestly, I didn't think it was nothing. The second time, though, fuck, it was. I fell in love. Honestly, I really did. It wasn't just an immediate. I'm addicted. Obviously, it took time and a lot of doing it over and over again. So I smoked that one time. I didn't really feel nothing. Didn't really like it. I was like, okay, this is nah. I didn't feel shit. It's like I'm chilling on that for the time being, and then I think the school holidays came around, and this was the time frame where it just started up again. I was walking down the chop spot area around that way, and I could just smell weed and hear people talking. And then all of a sudden, one was walking out, and they're like, "Yo, come in, have a cone, blah blah blah," and so obviously went in. My other mate was with me too, so we both went in. Had a few cones and whatever else. I was blazed. I was bloody blazed, and I that time I enjoyed it. I had fun. I thought I was one of the cool kids. With the lads, and fucking. I thought I was pretty cool. I really wasn't, but and then it just continued on for that. I don't know why or how it just turned into being a thing where I guess the rest of the school holidays we just kept going down to the chop spot nearly every day and just smoking and seshing and kicking back with the lads and you know just just doing I guess what teenagers do, but it started getting excessive. Like it was just happening too much. I guess that's just where it started from. Um, Obviously, at that point, I wasn't addicted yet. Um, I was still hiding it from my dad. When I'll get weed dropped off to me, I'd have to go and, get it dropped off all the way down near my local school rather than just near my house or something like that. It was still very much a thing that I was scared of getting found out about. Honestly, I don't know how the signs weren't shown quicker. I wasn't caught quicker because man, I'll come back to the house blazed as hell. I mean, blazed. Yeah, I got away with it for quite a while, and then I guess the biggest thing was when it stopped becoming a social thing. That's when it turned into more of an addiction. I started doing it by myself. And then I also started smoking cigarettes as well because my brother would smoke cigarettes and he'll, roll me one as well. He'll be like, oh, you want one as well? So, I would obviously, take that because it's another hit, very, obviously it's not the same, but, I like nicotine quite a bit. So I just smoked that, and that started becoming my routine as well. Having a cuppa and a cigarette before school, even walking down to school. I walked to school with a cigarette. I thought I was the coolest kid out, man. I thought I was so sick. But man, like really thinking about it, the other kids must have looked at me like I was pissing my life away. So I ended up doing that with my brother and just keep on doing it nearly every day, smoking cigarettes, blah blah blah. And then I think another school holidays happened again, and me and my mate were just like, all right, we're smoking the whole school holidays, and then that's where it caught on. We took a week off before the school holidays had even started just to smoke weed, so we had longer. So we had longer just to sesh and listen to music and chill at his house. That's when it became more of a thing. I ended up staying there the whole holidays, stayed at my mate's house. Ended up, the worst thing I ever did was I barely even contacted my dad. Like, I just, I'd send him a message in the morning, I'm good, I'm chilling, whatever else. Sometimes I would forget to send that message, that was the worst thing. Um, he knew obviously I was safe, but I wasn't doing the smartest things. Um, and then I ended up, so after the school holidays had pretty much been up by that point. Oh no, so it was the weekend. I was meant to go home before school, but instead of going home, I went to another friend's place, and I didn't even go home and speak to my dad and see how things was. Honestly, I regret that because I just you know, left him in the dark, and he's stressing and worrying about me, and that was probably the worst thing I did, um, in that stage. Um, it got to the point where I wasn't even going to school till about 11 o'clock. I was relying on it so much that I couldn't even go to school. Like, I couldn't go to school sober. I had to be high. Obviously, people could tell there was multiple times I was searched or accused of being high or something. I'll just say I was tired or whatever else, but I was high. Um, I just relied on it so much for my anxiety going to school and just hating school so much that was the only thing I'll get there. That's the only thing that will get me to go to school. But then, thing is, I was going to school late no matter what, so I'll get there at like 11 o'clock because I've been smoking my morning away. Like, I'll wake up real early, like 6 o'clock sometimes, just to smoke. And then it'll get to the point where I'm smoking that much I would even forget what the time is. Like, I'll lose track of time, and then it gets to the point where it's like, oh shit, I'm late for school. So it's 11 o'clock, already missed 2 sessions, finally at school, and now what? I've just missed 2 classes. I haven't learned in that time frame, and then sometimes I would even leave at lunch. So it's pretty much I was going to school just for lunch break. Like, I was going to school to hang out with my mates for a little bit at lunch, and then by the time lunch break was over, I'll just fuck off home. And because I was a little shithead, I had blocked the school's number, so my dad didn't know that I was away. My dad's a lot older, so he doesn't know any of that tech stuff and whatever else. So Dad didn't know for a very long time until the point I was getting told that there's no point in me coming to school anymore because I've missed that much time. I couldn't even catch up. So I ended up going to an alternative program for schooling. That did well for me, but honestly, it got to the point where if I didn't have weed, I would settle. Like, I would settle for some cooked shit. Like, one time I even smoked from moldy weed. Like, that is fuck. That is terrible for you. Like, I don't know how I'm still, still kicking back like that. That's fucked. And it's not like I smoked a little bit. I smoked I think nearly a whole Oz of that. It's fucking crazy. I even smoked tea once. I smoked tea, which obviously I think a lot of people have. At least a lot of Aussies have smoked tea. I smoked coffee once. That was crazy. That high was intense and insane. I wouldn't recommend doing that at all. But I would just settle for anything. Honestly, I was a fiend, and I still am. Honestly, I still am. Like, just recently, I smoked, what, 15 grams in 2 days. I don't settle anymore. Like, I make sure I get the medical, but I'm just still stuck in this cycle addiction that it's very hard to get myself out of, because I've been born into it. My family is addicts, and I just, it's not me trying to make an excuse for it, because there is a lot of people who are born in a family of addicts and don't become addicts, but it's definitely been hard for me to go away from that, because that's the way I've been taught how to cope. It's either fight or get on the drugs, or just do something stupid. It's not the way I was taught how to deal with life and stress and bullshit was not the right way. The coping mechanisms I was taught was not the right way. It's not the normal way of speak it out, talk it out. Don't allow yourself to just jump into a substance and just drown yourself into it. I wasn't taught that. I was taught the opposite. So it's very much hard to deprogram myself from that way. But I am trying. Every day I'm trying. I have been sober from pills for about I think about 2 years now, and I'm doing so much better for it. It's fixed it's helped, not fixed. It's helped my mental health a lot more. It's helped my stomach health, which is still fucked to this day, and overall, it's made just life better and clearer. I can think straight. I can talk to people. There was points where I was having arguments with people over, and I didn't even know what I was arguing about. My brain was that cooked. Like, I couldn't even explain why we were arguing. Like, I could not go back to that. Like, I could not allow myself to go back to that. So, I am in a different stage of life, but I'm still very much an addict, and I know that. That's why I be careful. I have to be careful, and try and keep myself away from certain surroundings, and just know I have to have that strength to just be like, nah, I don't need that. Not today. I'm chilling. I'm cool. I can deal with it in other ways, by speaking, by going to a counselor, by talking to a mate or family, because I don't want all my time to be wasted like I did in school. Like, I was just so clouded by weed. Like, I was so clouded by it to the point where I'll be sitting in class thinking of my next re-up rather than what's on my page. Like, it wasn't a sustainable lifestyle, and I'm not going to keep it up. That's all I'm gonna say. Thank you. Bye.